thanks for joining me in the USA Pan kitchen. Today I am Nikki. Today we're going to be making meatloaf, and we're going to be doing that in, of course, our USA Pan meatloaf pan. So stick with me and I'm going to show you how easy this is and how great this pan is for this recipe. So we'll start off with our ingredients. We're going to be using 2 pounds of ground meat. I have beef here, but you could really use any kind of ground meat that you want. I find with meatloaf a combination of like beef, pork, and veal work really well. But you could use whatever you have on hand, or whatever is on sale would be great too. So to this beef, I'm going to add 2 eggs. I have a half a cup of milk here. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I have a 1/3 cup of chopped fresh parsley. I have 1 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. I have about a medium onion here chopped up and 1 green bell pepper chopped up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this into the bowl with my beef and get this all mixed together. I'm just whisking my eggs up a little bit before here. And we're just gonna dump this all together here. The milk, tomato paste, breadcrumbs in there. And like I said, I'm using some chopped green bell pepper, but you can use, it's a great way to use up any leftover veggies you have in your fridge. Mushrooms or zucchini, anything like that would work well in here. Put some parsley in there. Gonna season this with some salt and some pepper. And I'm going in with my hands just because I think it's just the easiest and best way to mix this. You don't want to overmix it. You just want to get it, all the ingredients mixed up here. So I have this beef mixture all mixed together. And as I said, we're going to use our USA Pan meatloaf pan. If you're not familiar with this pan, this is what it looks like. And it actually has 2 parts. So there's an insert here that fits into the loaf pan. This is a 1.5 pound loaf pan. And the beauty of this is you put the insert in the pan, and then you put your meatloaf inside, and it has these holes in the bottom, which allows the fat to drain out of your meatloaf. And that way you're not serving it to your family. And then when your meatloaf's done, you simply lift your insert out, and you have all that yucky grease and fat that collects on the bottom there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get this into our pan. So that is our meatloaf recipe. Pretty simple. Again, you can customize this with any vegetables you want, or whatever kind of meat that you want. You could, cook this right here and be done with it. What I like to do and what my family likes is we're going to top this with some thick sliced bacon, which I have right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead here and just layer this bacon on the top. Once you have the bacon on here, I'm gonna go ahead and put a glaze on the top. What I have here is 3/4 cup of ketchup, 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of ground mustard, and 1.5 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. And I'm just gonna go ahead and spread that across the top of the meatloaf. You can reserve some of the sauce and serve it with the meatloaf after it's done. That way you can get extra sauce on each individual slice if you want. Also, once this goes into the oven, you may want to pull it out halfway through and see how this sauce is glazing up. You might want to add some extra. So this will make usually more sauce than what you need. We are going to put this in a preheated 350-degree oven, and this needs to cook for 1.5 hours. And like I said, you might want to check on it halfway through and add more sauce if you want. That's it. So we just pulled our meatloaf out of the oven. It baked for 1.5 hours, and I did add some extra sauce on top as it baked, just so it gets like caramelized and nice and flavorful. I mean, it smells so good in here. I wish you could smell it. It looks great. Now I want to show you one of the great aspects of this pan. Like I said, it has that insert here. Just move this closer. So we're going to pull this up. So we have our meatloaf there, nice and cooked, and in the bottom we have all this yucky grease and oil from the meat that we're obviously going to discard, and here you're just left with your yummy meatloaf. Also, this is the loaf pan that you get with the meatloaf pan. This is a 1.5 pound loaf pan. As you can see, I baked up a cinnamon bread in here. So you're really getting, lots of uses out of this pan. If you do buy it, it's not just for meatloaf, because that insert comes out and then you can use it as a loaf pan. I'm just gonna take some parsley here and sprinkle it over the top of our meatloaf. You pair this with some roasted vegetables or some mashed potatoes, and you got yourself a nice cozy dinner perfect for the fall. And that's it. I wanna thank everyone for joining us this week for our meatloaf recipe. Please be sure to subscribe below. And if you make any of our recipes, let us know, send pictures. We love to see what you all are baking. And like and follow us on all of our social media so that you can keep updated on all the things that we're doing here at USA Pan. And we will see you next week with another video.